Whakawhiti atu tātou ki te tai hauāuru o te ika a Māui, ki roto i te rohe o Taranaki. Ki te whakarongo ki ngā kōrero tuku iho o ngā iwi o te maunga tapu e ki nei ko Puke-o-naki. Ka hoki atu ngā kōrero ki ngā ao timatanga, ki te ao kōhatu, me te taitanga mai o tangata ki Aotearoa nei.
Pōtua tai, pōtua rua, pōtua toru, pōtua wā, pōtua rima, pōtua anō, pōtua witu, pōtua waru, pōtua ewa, pōtua ngā uru. Eke mai te pōku te pō ni houri, te pō ni o koe, te pō ni o tara mamanga, te mamanga i te pōtiki o te pō. Ka tipu te pō harea te pō tangaroa. Tangaroa tūki ute, tangaroa tūki tai, ko ka ukuru ki te o tuki, ko pupuke, ko mahara. Ko iringa nuku, ko iringa rangi, ko iringa tau, ko iringa te manu mea, una ki tangata. Ka tipu, teire tangata, te waiao, te ao mārama. Pui anuku, pui arangi, ka tūtū te hua tā arangi. Ko tū enua, ko tū maanga, ko tū parara, te ono atu, ko para karukaru, ko paru enua mea. Ko rua te tupua, rua te tauto, rua te tira, moi a tautūrangi, tāna ko rua Taranaki, moi a rau o to tapairu, tāna ko taurangi. Ana ko te puna tēnei eke mai te tangata.
A te ki nui, te ki roa, a te ki oi oia, ko te ki te pau mua, ko te ki te pau roto, ko te ki te pau kaha, te ki mā kiki, ko te ki mā kākā, ko te ki werohia, ko te ki te mā tau, ko te ki hewa hewa, ko te ki takihitaha, ara ko te ki āhua waiki. A nānā ka moe atu rā ki taurahanga, ka puta hei tā rāua, ko māui mua, ko māui roto, ko māui pō tiki a taraanga. Hoi anō rā o e rā toko toru nei, e wahano anō, hoi anō ka ura anō tāku kōrero ki tēnei o ngā pōtiki, māui pōtiki. Nānai uti ake rā anō ko tēnei uenua ki ake rā anō ko te ikaroa.
Arrival of Tokomaru, emphasise particular aspects of Tokomaru, and you know there's various accounts of kōrero of Tokomaru and waiata, karakia and other things, and so what we've done is we've identified some of those examples just to provide a bit of a window into some of the kōrero and the narratives that we still retain today in relation to Tokomaru. But maybe if we kick off with you, Anaru.
Yep. So there's a couple of narratives around our waka Tokomaru. First, we need to know where it came from and what its purpose was when it was first traveling around the Pacific. So it was known to be around the islands of Rangiatia, around the islands of Taha or Bora Bora. So, and it was a freighter. It carried freight and produce between the islands. It was a well-known waka for that purpose. From there, received the call from a chief from Rarotonga called Tāngia. And Tāngia did the call to the wakas to go to Rarotonga, and that was on the first heke Anaia. So, and from there, our waka travelled to Arorangi on the western side of Rarotonga, where it was refitted out as a carrier of people. And it's part of the kōrero of Manaia and his journey. But from that point, from Rangiatia on the way to Rarotonga, it was a mix of people that travelled in that waka. Those people that were on the waka Tokomaru were a blend of people from Aotearoa, from here that went across, and the waka Tiara Tāwhao from Whakatāne in search of the kumara. So, and to learn the knowledge of horticulture and the higher learnings of those gardens overseas, and to bring the kumara back to Aotearoa. So we had a known narrative of Manaia having to leave the islands because of a dispute. We then have another narrative of Rākaiora and his father Tamaku Hikurangi leaving New Zealand to go and bring the kumara back, and one came back in the waka Mātātua, and his son Rākaiora came back in the waka Tokomaru. So their reason to come back, or the reason of our waka, was to bring new produce and new skills and new knowledge back to Aotearoa. So our waka didn't just land here. It didn't just come to Taranaki. As we know, in our kōrero, we identify more than one navigator or one captain. We have 4, and that's because our waka went to 4 different places and 4 different journeys around Aotearoa. So we know that it stayed up at the Kaipara, at a place called Te Aratapu o Manaia, named because of that occupation of our waka Tokomaru. We know that there are people up there on the Ngāti Awa connection through the far north. We also know that our waka went to Raglan, Painairoa, where the event or the killing of Tomowhare took place by Manaia, and from that place our waka was chased by the waka Waimati, which was commanded by Nuku, Tomowhare's brother. So Nuku chased, and our waka went all the way down Te Tuaipaunamu and Te Tauihu, and Tokomaru ended up at Rangitoto ki te Tonga. So part of the story how the island received its name is because our visitation, our people stayed there at Rangitoto. And then it turned and had a sea battle in front of Puke-o-naki Bay, which then became known as the Ahuahu o Manaia, the heaping of the sands, when the karakia went out to end that sea battle between Nuku from Raglan and Manaia and our people from Tokomaru. So there's a number of places that our waka is still remembered in terms of the landscape, still remembered in terms of around the motu. So, and they're just a few: Kaipara, Raglan, Puke-o-naki Bay, Duval Island, and Rangitoto ki te Tonga all have a narrative that we need to bring to the front of our talkings, of our connections to place. So so our waka, as I said, brought back, just as Aotea brought back the kumara and Rongo planted it in Hawaii ki iti, and Tainui brought back the kumara and Whakakotarangi put that down in Hawaii ki nui. We also brought back the kumara as well, and with that we also brought a number of Māori and Tonga that came as well, and one of those was the Māori of Pane.
NBS recording. This was taken at Wairoa in July 1938 at the opening of the Carroll Memorial carved house known as Takitimu. It was given, items were given there by a party from Taranaki of the Ngārauru tribe from Waitotara. In this, they refer to their mana Māori, their Māori culture, customs, traditions, and so on. And the song covers from those early days to the period of Te Whiti and Tohu, who lived in the 80s and who set themselves up as prophets amongst the Taranaki people. They had a great following all over the North Island. The last line in the composition runs in this wise: E kore e mutu I taku mokopuna, ka puta kaora taku iwi e. This is a reference to the claim of the Waikato people for compensation for their lands taken by confiscation, and predicted that before Tawhito's mokopuna, Tawhito's mokopuna would pass from this world, this claim would be recognized by the government of New Zealand and compensated. And it has come about so by the passing of the Waikato Compensation Act of 1946. The air, of course, is an English air. The rhythm is wholly Maori, and the actions that accompany them are characteristically Maori.
There's not a moment that we can stop thinking about challenging the status quo. I love doing it. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. You get the biggest thrill out of being peaceful, being civil, and yet knowing they know we ain't going to budge. And that's all we have to do. And it doesn't need violence. It just means kia oti arunga, kia oti auraro. And of course, to do that, now where do you start? Ooh, that's a big one. Te wāhi ngaro, te wāhi huna, te ku tere tere matupa, te kore heke iho heke.
You can't swear in my dad's house.
What? I like bloody steak. The life of a lamb is no less precious than that of a human being, Mr. Khan.
I didn't conquer half of the known world by eating salad.
What did you eat then?
Wild boar!
Really challenge yourselves for the school film festival, boys. Get hardcore, man.
Like a porn, miss.
Not quite what I meant, Sione.
Or what if I film my rugby game? Nah, it's got two halves. It can be an intermission. Ballet.
Sure, Conan, if that's the story you want to tell. Any other uriponamu or questions?
Have you got $20?
Apart from Jeff?
Okay.
And remember, the best film wins a video camera.
What about a documentary, Miss Gray?
Of course, Fale. Make it about something you're really passionate about.
Let's do a doco about the increased heart rate girls get when I bash them on the mat.